From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen. Terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha, Garan, could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other. One of the Varani women. Must have followed a mercenary band over. Maybe one of them herself. Doesn't much matter now. Fared pretty well, though. All right, then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
They're all over. Run!
Scatter, children of dust! Scatter before the might of the Tuatha! Stay away!
Help! Anybody!
No child of dust shall...
You! Up there, please help me! Please!
More mortal scum? No matter. You'll all die.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, Wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive. You died. I don't know how or even where. But your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you. Oh, my. You don't know? Oh, perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemies of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they are here. Hughes may have the answer to that as well. You must stay alive and reach him. Professor Formerus Hughes. The Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming into the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going! The Well of Souls is just ahead. You'll see. And it works. It restored you to life. There will be plenty of time to explain later. We've got to get going. I wish I could tell you more. You showed no signs of life when we removed your new body from the well's waters. We just put it in the furnace room with the others. We would have never done that if we knew. Oh, my. You don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemy of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they're here. He'll be in his study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there. And safe. Let me get this door. And we can be on our way. Right this way. You go first. This is what they're after. Our greatest invention. The Well of Souls. Imagine an end to war. An end to death. One of the storerooms. See if you can find anything useful. Wait! Do you hear something? More to offer! You're going to need more than just that sword. That one had a bow. Get it? Archers up ahead. Best shoot them before they see us. It's over. Go, go! Daggers are deadly if you catch an enemy unaware. Their speed more than makes up for their size. More up ahead. If you can sneak up on them with your daggers, you should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
look at the mortal bird scab.
Cave blossoms only respond in the presence of magic. Perhaps there is more to you than it seems. Incredible! What are you? Completely covered the tunnel. Maybe you can use that staff to burn a path through. Not more spiders. Burn them. Burn them! That's what I
what the well
intend to
spat
find
out.
out. She came out of the wells.
What? Then she better get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those twatha make another push.
This is where we part ways. But take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to Hughes. We can hold off the Tuatha here. There's nothing more I can do except to stay here and slow down the Tuatha. But this is the armory, after all. Check the chests. We might have a few things that would fit you. With luck, I'll see you on the outside. I'll see you on the outside, if fate wills it. Ah, plate armor. Nothing protects quite like layers of impervious metal. Leather armor is thin, but will give you the speed to reach an enemy's throat. Simple cloth frees your body and mind. That's why mages prefer it.
Scholars are soft. But rather back the door.
You've made it! And look at you! Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomerus Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing, the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another. It's been my life's work. Decades of research with a singular goal, ending death itself. And now, you're the only proof that it's a success. But why did it work on you and no one else? What makes you different from the others? There are so many questions to ask, and if we're to get any answers, we've got to get you someplace safe. I wish I could tell you more, but your death is a mystery to me as well. It seems that your memory died with your body. You see, the well is designed to capture the soul of someone recently deceased, recreating their physical form within its waters. Simple, really. Your rebirth is the first we might truly call a success. There have been others, but the results weren't quite right. I am Fomerus Hughes, Scholar of Vivification Prime Circle. We're standing above my life's work, the Well of Souls. There's so much to learn about you, though. I imagine it's all a bit muddled. A side effect of the prismere? Shape of the basin? No. If only we had more time. The Fae are complicated. I could write 10 volumes on the effects of immortality on their pseudo-feudal court system alone. You don't know. They're called the Tuatha. They were once Fae folk of the Winter Court, but they've been twisted by their Lord Gadflow. But how could they have found us out here? We're miles away from the front lines. The war has never touched Dalentarth. And why attack the well? Too much to explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe. We're in the Feylands, miles away from the front lines. I thought we were safe enough from the war, but it seems some of the Tuatha found their way here anyway. Of course you do. Please, though, we must hurry. The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amalur. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn. Good. We can't waste time. Absolutely not. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're... Wait, where are you going? Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have reached the lab! They're inside the
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agath. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
doing, you brute? Tear this tower apart!
Another survivor? But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the Professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you? That sounds like him. Professor Hughes was very thoughtful. I mean, he is very thoughtful. I'm sure he found a way to get out.
He must have! Brilliant idea, the Well of Souls. Plucks dead people out of the ether, rebuilds their body, and brings them back to life. At least that's what it was supposed to do. Guess we'll never know if it worked now. I just don't understand the Tuatha. I mean, most Fae aren't violent. The wild ones can be, but no more than any forest animal. But the Tuatha are some sort of cult among the Winter Fae. Before they invaded Erethel, no one could have imagined the Fae ever marching to war. We all knew Fomerus was a genius, but I'll admit, even I had my doubts about him being able to bring the dead back to life. Guess the Tuatha weren't very pleased that it worked. Oh, you mean Agarth? He visits Hughes every once in a while. I never could figure out why they got along. He's friendly enough, if a bit odd. You should be able to find him in Gorhart, just down the road, past the ruins. You can't miss it. Alistar is remote enough that we don't get a lot of visitors, and with our research, fewer visitors means fewer questions. We should be safe here. At least a little longer.
Thank Matharu, another survivor. Are there any more? I suppose that's a little bit of kindness from fate. May those still trapped inside rest peacefully. The well was a beautiful dream, an end to death, a cure to tragedy. It would have made war pointless. It could have saved the world. We should have known it was too good to exist. Now our friends have paid the price. Who knows why the Tuatha hate mortals? Who knows why the Fae do half the things they do? Fomerus Hughes was one of the greatest minds of our generation. The Well of Souls was a dream that was almost too good to come true. You don't see many Fate Weavers nowadays, but they were very popular when I was a girl. My parents even hired one to advise them on raising my sister and me. But these days, you're lucky if you can find a single Fate Weaver in a big city. Most have been run out of town. This was supposed to be a nice, isolated grove. So much for that. Stay safe. We'll be moving soon.
I saw you fighting there. We could have used more of you. Did they really have a troll? I don't know how the Tuatha found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you, or they would have chased us into the glade. We started building here when they found Prismeer in the mines nearby. Never thought we'd see Tuatha this far out west, though. Fate weavers? Ah, charlatans. You swears by them. But I'll be damned if I trust my future to some cards. Hugh's ran off, you say? I wouldn't worry too much. The old man's tougher than he looks, and he's always got a plan. They're technically a type of wild fae. Related to the fae of the summer and winter courts, actually. Dangerous enough in the wild. The Tuatha also use them in their army. I never did trust fae to begin with. Well, those Tuatha are the worst sort. They waged some sort of holy war against humans and Alpha for years now. But the front's all the way out east. What are they doing out here? How did they know about this place? Good luck out there.
I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here? When I saw you with Ensel in the well, I ran. But it wasn't because I was afraid. I was coming to report that Hughes's experiment had succeeded. The Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project. My contact pays well for information about its progress. I just send reports to make some money on the side. But I don't know how the Tuatha found out. This has nothing to do with them. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. I promise you, if I knew who it was, I'd tell you. Sharing research is one thing, but academic sabotage is a crime. I never meant for anyone to get hurt, but at this point, what's a little more blood on my hands?
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh? Fate Weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes's success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. You really don't know much, do you? A Fate Weaver taps into the threads of fate and channels that energy through a focus. My order prefers cards. The cards are unique to each Fate Weaver, since we all see the weave differently. I wish I could, but times are tough. I've barely got enough to pay my bar tabs as it is. You're the one. Then that means... it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Another victory!
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? Hughes may have brought you back to life, but that was still part of fate's plan. Nothing short of a god can do what you did. Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes, other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for Fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much... Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just... missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine. I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to help to the wounded at the tower. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news. And all the news in the world is getting worse. The order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost. And all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty. Soon. We are all threads in the tapestry of fate, measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Yovan. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver, but that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these. Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrun. I wrestled the Colossus Priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there. What could this all mean? Still here, huh? Can't quite decide if you want to hear what the cards say, can you? That's just it. I don't know. He lives in a little hut. What could this all mean?
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olain's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Hi. It's reassuring to have... I've always died in Hill.
Keep moving. This business doesn't concern you. Unless you're an expert scholar on the Fae, I'd suggest you move along. No reason to be out in the open with the Red Legion about. What are they? I'm not sure, but they've been here for longer than any of us can imagine. They're older than the trees. They have to be. They grew them. Humans and immortals cannot live together in peace, at least not forever. The peace we have with the Summer Court is unnatural. That's my opinion. You might call it a Fae nation, one of two united factions that rule their kind. The Summer Court are not exactly allies, but they do let us be, most of the time. It's the other Fae, the Winter Court, that has spawned the dreaded Tuatha, a vicious clan of killers who wish to defeat and enslave all mortals. Are you playing a trick on me? I would hope so. We're going on 10 years of the mortals and the Tuatha locked in a deadly embrace. Normally, I'd decry the bloodshed, but this is a conflict that we cannot afford to lose. Bandits, but no ordinary bandits. Surely you've heard of Red the Dead Idward. They say he drinks the blood of his captives, that he consumes their souls. Or perhaps those are just rumors. You should be fine if you stay inside the village. Once you go beyond the boundaries of Gorhart, however, your life is in your hands. I'd never seen one of them until a day or so ago. It appears that a small group of warriors ventured inland to strike behind our lines. Believe the stories, friend. The Tuatha were mad. They have been touched by a dark magic. They are wholly corrupted, and they are the enemy. I don't know if you noticed, but St. Ordwig's mission closed its gate moments before that Fae's body turned up on the road. I don't like what that suggests. Not at all. The Brothers of St. Ordwig's are an odd sort, scurrying back and forth across the mission like squirrels gathering nuts. I wonder what goes on behind those closed doors.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I'm a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days in the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gorhart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Gorhart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. I'm the Warden of Gorhart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been Warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. I don't know what the Tuatha will be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. Bye now.
Cast down the brothers of St. Odwig's, only when they fall to earth. Whatever you do, avoid the monks of St. Odwig's Perpetual. They deal in lies and false tenets. Their light of hope will leave you in shadow. If such creatures were not part of the authorities' plan, then they would not exist in nature, period. Mitharu's divine order governs all, even the Fae. It is the name I chose when I baptized myself in the clear waters of Mitharu. I have undergone the ordination rites, and am as legitimate as any monk. You don't know. It is less a mission than a fortress of deception, a citadel of lies. It throws its menacing shadow over all of Gorehart. Father Dinwell will try to defend his cause, but he is simply a soldier, marching to the orders passed down to him. None of them have minds of their own. He would be a good man if he could see past the rigidity of his faith. Mitharu embraces all, not simply those that the Church deems worthy. She was wronged by someone in this village. That is an injustice I can understand. By its appearance, you'd assume Gorehart is a pleasant place. Never make assumptions.
Welcome to St. Odwig's Perpetual Mission. I would invite you in, but the Order has been too trusting in the past. We try to learn from our mistakes. Although one never knows what might be a test of faith. You have arrived just when I am in need of aid. So perhaps Mitharu is at work. We at St. Odwig's have worked for years to establish a presence on this hill. It's not been without its challenges. The call of the Feylands does not fall upon deaf ears, and many of our youngest don't have the will to resist. Take Brother Egan, for example. 2 nights ago, Egan ventured past the walls to collect firewood and never returned. We must find him before anything happens. Oderath is a savage land. Every day we must face both the beasts of the wood and the evil of wicked hearts. I fear for Brother Egan's soul. He knows nothing of the world of Fae and Alpha, trust and temptation. He is like a baby, eyes wide at the world around him. Mitharu be praised, his order reigns supreme. Brother Egan was last seen northeast of here, just off the road near the Fey ruins. Please find him. Perhaps then we can welcome you into the fold with open arms. Egan was last seen in the woods outside the walls, just north of the village. He is a good boy, but our youngest, and Egan often suffers from doubt. That is to be expected. One can only grow out of conflict, especially conflict of the spirit. I tried my best to comfort him and tell him that wisdom would come in time, but he is impatient. Brash. He wanted a faster way to enlightenment and power. The Fae are stubborn fools. They treat their souls like toys, with no thought of right or wrong, chaos or order. I have been with the mission since its founding. These boys are like my sons. I live my life as an example of Mitharu's wishes for our kind. Frustrating, that one, stubborn to the spirit. She claims to know the will of Mitharu better than those of us who have spent a lifetime studying scripture. If only she would be touched by the hand of reason. The first bricks were laid 50 years ago by Odwig himself, before his demise at the hands of trolls. We honor him by converting the Fae to the worship of Mitharu. Alas, we have yet to convert a single one, but that does not keep us from trying. May Mitharu protect you.
Yes? What could a mortal vagabond need with Casmaran the Eternal, messenger of the Fey folk? Speak! My time may be of the ages, but it is still precious. I'm new to the Feylands. Until I joined the mission, I'd never even left my home village. That's why I volunteered. I wanted to see the world. I want to visit the gardens of Issa, to meet gnomes and Alfar, to live. The Order of Mitharu was a good way to leave home, but I want so much more. It sounds rather silly, doesn't it? I had a feeling it would. I need a mage name for when I become all-powerful, for when my magic is so great that no one will dare dispute me. What about Abner the Visionary, or Malik the Nefarious, Lord Zaltanus? No? And those were the good ones. Mortal races have no lasting grasp on this world, and in time the fair ones shall be our masters, beautiful and mighty. Legend tells of the great Fey city hidden beneath the canopies of Dalantarth. I've never met anyone who's been there, but I'm sure it's real. Yes, I'm quite sure. Not a doubt in my mind. Father Dinwell and the others are fools, and their silly mission will wither and crumble. Finnet and Arbos have glimpsed it with their ever-seeing eyes. They believe I have the potential to succeed where all others have failed, including them. You see, they can't obtain what they desire, so they need someone more powerful to do it. Then they will bestow upon me the wisdom of the Fae. Wait! Father Dinwell sent you, didn't he? Old fool. His path to power was too plodding, and now he wishes to slow me down too. I have new friends, Fae friends. They are named Finna and Arbos, and they have sworn to share their secrets with me and to gift me with true magic. In exchange, they want an ancient treasure buried in the caverns of Waterhall Down. I'll retrieve it, eventually, as soon as I, feel like it. They are Fey twins, and they are beautiful, magical creatures. They've promised to teach me magic, to help me see the world as it really is. All they require of me is to fetch for them this relic. It's quite a bargain, believe me. Fine, if you want to be so noble, but don't expect any of the treasure. This is my key into a powerful new future, a future full of magic and wonders. Let's go. It is in the caves of Waterhall Down, a refuge for the wild Fae. It is called the Selkie Vale, and it's said to possess the power to transform its wearer into any form he wishes. Finna says it belongs to the Fae, but was stolen. I don't know much about the relic, only that it was supposedly crafted by a Fey mage named Armen the Clever. Armen is a good name. Not as good as Casmaran, though. Bye then. Glory will be Casmaran's. If we're going to press on, then I'll ask you to stay close. I have no courage to speak of. Honest. Ask Father Dinwell. Local legend says that the great Fey mage Armin the Clever retreated to these caverns to hide his treasures from mortal hands. Among them, the Selkie Vale. Goodbye now. Fears nothing. Veil. Didn't think we'd make it. Arbos and Finna will be waiting. Come, their camp is not far. Finna and Arbos made their camp in the old Fey ruins north of the village, near my camp. See you later. Catamaran will soon be rewarded.
What is this? Our little Egan has made a friend? I have a feeling this is going to be a problem. A charming boy, but simple. My brother and I do prefer them witless and eager. He would have done so much more for us if not for you. Before the war, we plundered Rothir from within. We were so successful that the Warsworn had bounties on our heads. Not much, but enough to be proud of. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. With the arrival of so many wartime outlaws, we were forced to relocate here. It was for the best, if you ask me. Legend states that the wearer of the veil will be granted strange abilities, Fey abilities. So you can imagine why my brother and I might be curious. Obviously, anyone who has ever glimpsed a Fey would know that. Unlike little Egan here, your head holds more than fantasies. The Feylands are such fertile ground for games. The inhabitants are so oafish you can fill your pockets with hardly any effort. Are you going to give us what's rightfully ours, or do we need to start a new game? My brother and I are always ready to play. Then you'll have to pay for it with your life. You see, we have much invested in this deception. Blood, gold, not to mention the hours wasted on Egan. We may be criminals, but we're an honourable pair. We worked hard for our prize, and now we mean to have it. Cursed, is it? It does look like you are well acquainted with misfortune. Keep the veil, then. There are other treasures to be had in the Feylands. Make certain our paths do not cross again, or my brother will add his mark to your scars. You best get baby Egan back to his bassinet. His mother will be worried. Farewell!
I didn't know. How could I? Before I came to Gorehart, I'd never known anyone outside my immediate family. Everything was so new, so magical. You must think me a fool. And Father Dinwell... Come, let's return to the mission. I must ask forgiveness of so many. See you later. To the mission! Must we return to the mission? I crave adventure, magic, power! Although all of those things are quite frightening. Perhaps it is for the best. This new world is far more dangerous than I expected, and I haven't eaten in days. See you later. Come, on to St. Odwig's. Must we return? Although all of those things are... See you later. Must we... Although all of those things are quite... See you later.
Great Mitharu, Egan has returned. As for you, you have done as I asked, and we here at St. Odwig's are forever grateful. Consider this meager reward a donation to your cause. It is just one, to be sure. It is only by the grace of Mitharu that Egan has been returned to us. Of course, you had a hand in that miracle as well. The authority works in many ways.
You've been called.
Have you come to protest the mission as well? The news has spread to every village. It's on every tongue. We are so close. St. Odwig's cannot resist much longer. And once it relents, all others will follow in its wake. The tome will be ours. Father Dinwell is denying that women can be ordained as members of the Order of Mitharu, despite scripture to the contrary. I know that they've got the proof in their reliquary, an ancient ordination tome, but they've never let me close enough to get a glance. All are welcome into Mitharu's embrace. Ha! The hypocrites! Don't commit any crimes on my account. Of course, if Mitharu compels you to see justice done, then I won't stand in your way. The Brothers of St. Odwig's perpetual mission keep the valuable tome in their reliquary, but no one outside the Order is allowed a glimpse.
Nice to see you.
You there? Do you feel nauseous? Itchy? Have you noticed any blood leaking from your eye sockets? I've been noticing the symptoms everywhere. No, this situation could not be any worse. If the Red Legion is involved, then we could all be staring death in the face. What have I done? Don't walk away. Please listen to me. Everything I've done may be ruined. Why ask questions when you could never understand the answers? It's clear your prowess is not with wit, but with a weapon. If you must know, something of value has been stolen. An alchemical formula that, if released, could cause untold devastation. I see its symptoms everywhere. Only my apprentice, Karth, and I knew of my work on the formula, but he's gone missing as well. It was an early version, unstable and rife with potential dangers. My hope is to develop a weapon that the Alfar can bring against our common enemy, the Tuatha. To say more would be to reveal my secrets. All I can say is that it involves lesions, goiters, and a good deal of pus. His name was Karth Hilfred. I found him one morning outside my door, picking through the ember eyes. I was impressed how well he knew his way around a plant. I've never seen one so eager to learn. I do not deserve such goodwill after what I've engineered. If disaster occurs in Odorath, it will be on my head. I'm not sure where Karth may have gone, but I knew that before he came to me, he found shelter in the ancient chambers of Agnurfar Hall, an Erathi ruin east of Gorhart. Once you've ensured Karth's safety, you must learn what's happened to my formula. When you do, destroy it. It's the only way to keep us safe. He always spoke of his time as a wastrel living in the abandoned halls of Agnurfar Hall, the Erathi ruin. People say it's haunted, but people say many things. The villagers believe it's haunted, but I have a feeling that's a ruse devised by the Red Legion. They mean to terrorize these people into submission, and it's working. Haven't you seen it? The grim tower to the west. Avoid its shadow if you can, because what transpires inside Alistar will benefit no one. I would know. I have seen many conflicts unfold, but never have I seen one in which the fates of so many are at stake. The Tuatha will not settle for simple victory. They want total domination and will do whatever it takes to achieve it. For years I dabbled in alchemy, healing, divination and transmutation. All of that seems frivolous now, what with the war looming over us. Now I spend my sleepless nights in search of a formula that will end such conflicts forever. I fear for his life. Karth was gifted in a way that I've witnessed in only a select few. If the Red Legion has him, there's no telling of how he'll be treated. If you must know, my name is Nanny Henry, formerly the chief alchemist of Alistar. But you wouldn't know what that is, would you? When the scholars in the tower ordered me to leave the grounds, I took refuge here. The Almain are a private people, keen to keep to themselves, like me. Bandits, ruthless and well organized. The Red Legion is reaping many rewards by preying on vulnerable Almain settlers traveling east. Long ago, these villains confined themselves to the coast, but recently they've moved inland to avoid the war. Now they're our problem. They are the Undying, the corrupted roots. Their existence is an abomination. Everything in Amalur exists for a particular reason, except for the Tuatha. They're not meant to be. Farewell. Time is of the essence. That's never been more true. Goodbye. Greetings.
Great Mitharu, you found the ordination tome. I'd give a sack of gold to see the look on Father Dinwell's face. He will no longer be able to deny my entrance to the Order. Mitharu does embrace all. Thank you. I won't need any gold as a servant of Mitharu. Take what I have. It's yours. I will remember you in my prayers.
Welcome. May your hollow gods keep you, mortal. I am called Aerie. Your face is new to me. You're different from those in Gorhart. They amuse me, and I strive to learn all I can from them. Have you come to ask about the Tuatha? I can offer only what I know, and hope it will suffice. I feel them near, flitting through the western woods like shafts of shadow in the sunlight. What could have brought them here, I wonder? The Tuatha do not trouble themselves with easy prey. If they prowl these woods, it is for worthy quarry. I find them so interesting, from their vestments to their odd habits and demeanors. Just yesterday I saw a monk from the Almain mission sneaking through the underbrush. Strange creatures you are. Strange, but glorious. I adore every sad soul in the village, even stubborn Herc with his tender heart, and drunken old Arnick. The widow fascinates me. She has no idea that her lover is dead. I watch them from my perch, hoping to learn the meaning behind their pursuits and passions. If I could, I would grant each of them an eternity. Alas, I cannot. I cannot reveal much. The gardens are the jewel of the summer court, a wonder beheld by few mortals. It is located far east of here in a wood so thick it would devour all but those who knew its secrets. Do not pursue such mysteries, mortal. They are not for you. Feylands? Yes, I've heard these words before, but do not understand their meaning. There are only Fey, and there is only land. I do find Almain sentiments so charming. We are kin to the seasons and cycles of all life, to new life and perpetual growth. Mortals may view the warmth of the petals and smell the beauty of a newborn bud, but only Fey know the strength of the roots beneath the surface. I wandered the forest for many seasons, listening to lore stones of the great ballads. Before that, I dwelled in the gardens of Issa. I prefer the quiet of this village, the mirth of the witless. They contain memories, great moments, ideas, songs and inspirations. The Fae do not record their words in ink or on paper. Ink fades, paper crumbles. Lore stones mark where our kind has made a lasting impression, where the seasons slowed to take note of glory on a grand scale. Yes, I witnessed this crime, although I did not recognize the one who perpetrated it. It is often difficult to distinguish one mortal from another. The victim was Illuvia, but I knew her only by name. You must be hoping that I can offer advice, but I cannot. If she is meant for the Great Cycle, then so be it. However, I would be quite interested to find out whether one of my kind would benefit from one of your mortal remedies. I've always wondered. It will need to be powerful. Your delicate forms are far more sensitive than ours. In fact, it's astounding that you survive as long as you do. All of us are at the mercy of the changing seasons, mortal and fey alike. If it is one's time to pass into the Great Cycle, then we must not protest. The passing is keeping with autumn, and is as natural as the eventual rebirth. Perhaps your mortal apothecary can provide one. You can always create the potion yourself if you possess the skill. Farewell.
What do you want?
Time is of the essence. That's never been more true. Do you really think I'm able to part with anything, much less one of my finest mixtures? This is a place of research. There is no charity. I'm sure I have a vial somewhere in this cottage, but I do not have the time to search for it. I'm sorry. Farewell.
Can't talk. Herc doesn't like loafers. Behave yourself. You there! Halt! Don't let me catch you making trouble again.
Stay safe.
Need supplies? Try the corner shop.
Times are hard, but hard times can pay if you're willing to take risks. If you have the sword and stomach for this sort of work, we could use another strong arm among the warsworn. I'm recruiting for the warsworn, girl. And some may try to colour it with fancy words, but we're warriors for hire, the best in these lands. You'll find those who have taken the oath are held in the highest respect all over Amalur. You could head straight to Shieldring Keep and pledge your sword. Might work, but a commendation from me would carry a lot of weight. To earn it, you must do something commendable. There are two brothers, scoundrels of the Red Legion, named Osgar and Medgar Krast. Bring me proof you've dealt with them. I'll pay in coin and my good word. Osgar hides somewhere in the woods north of here. Medgar was last seen east of his brother's camp. Bring me their Legion daggers, and I'll pay with coin, and a commendation to join the Order. Peaceful enough, if it's peace and quiet you like. Trouble with bandits and rogues now and then, that's when they send for me. There's a war in the east, and Dalentarth's got our own troubles with the Red Legion thieves. Some say they've seen Tuatha in these parts. Fools! I'll believe that when I see it. We've had our eyes on those two for some time. Red Legion scum. They're both dangerous, but it may help to know Osgar favors the bow, while Medgar favors the spear. That's me, warsworn since before you've been drawing breath, and Oathblade near as long. A name taken by some lot of scoundrels to glorify their thievery. A name breeds fear and doesn't die like a man. But killing the men who use the name is a start, eh? Easy now, stripling. Earn your way to Pledge Shield first. Then, in 5 or 10 years' good service, you'll make Oathblade. Shieldring, the oldest home to the Warsworn, in the Feylands at least. They're unlike any Fey you've ever seen. red eyes to match their armor, and fierce as rabid wolves. What have you been living under? We've been at war with the Tuatha for 15 years. We're fighters for hire. There are none better with steel, swinging it, or shaping it, and none held in higher regard. Fae are folk, but not mortal folk. They're not concerned with the things we mortals are.
Hey there. Pull up a stool, stranger. We don't have much, but what we have won't leave a hole in your pocket. Are you here about that Fae girl they found outside? I must be honest. Sometimes I forget who we are fighting. All I know is that the humans and Alfar have been battling the enemy for close to 10 years now. Nothing of interest to tell. I'm just a simple farm girl from the plains of Erethel. I left home as a girl and travelled west. Found myself here in Gorhart. All I know is what I've heard from others. They say that the fair folk possess powerful nature magic. That would explain the beauty of these woods. I've worked here since I was a girl. Arnik runs an honest business, and Ugnar treats me like a daughter, though he doesn't say much. If you need a healer's touch, Katrin works out of a room upstairs. She's Alfar, but I wouldn't hold that against her. It's as good a place as any, I guess. The Fae are strange, but they rarely bother us down here. I worry more about Nanny Henry, the creepy old alchemist. Vast rolling hills east of here near the coast. You should head that way if you wish to join the war effort. The Alfar need all the help they can get. I feel terrible about what happened to that girl. Gorhart used to be a nice little village. These days we're jumping at shadows. Stick around.
What's this?
What is it? You made it. Just in time, too. Give me the potion. It will help, but it's not enough. Someone must go to the Fae and explain what happened here. One small misunderstanding and we'll no longer just be strangers to the Fae. We'll be enemies. She is a member of the House of Ballads, the legendary court of Fae heroes. They are warriors without equal, with centuries of glory to their names. If one of their own was killed by a mortal, the House of Ballads and its king would bring a fierce vengeance upon us. Gorhart would be a ruin by day's end. I'm not sure yet, but this is bad. She's Fae. Even worse, she's a knight in the House of Ballads. Fae don't kill their own, so it must have been someone in Gorhart. If the House of Ballads learns of this, the king will burn Gorhart to the ground. They see all mortals as invaders. We could go to the Warsworn and get an oath of protection, but that would require payment. We mustn't cover this up. But who do we tell? You're turning out to be very helpful, my friend. You have my gratitude. I'll see to it that you're honored. Rumor says that the House of Ballads has its headquarters not far from here, in Glendara to the northeast. Try to gain entrance if you can. All I know is what I learned in my youth. The heroism of King Wenson and his court of enchantments. My gran spoke of them nightly as she sat by my bedside. For all I know, the House of Ballads is nothing more than myth. But I have a feeling that it exists somewhere out in the deep mists of the Feylands. Once they fought the beasts of chaos, marching to glory through many victories. Sadly, they fell, as all great men do. Now they're nothing more than hired blades. Anyone can earn their allegiance with a few pieces of gold. It's east of here, in the meadows of Yolvin. The Feylands are a wicked place, crawling with creatures so strange you'll assume you're dreaming. Farewell.
Fae in Gorehart. It isn't right.
What you doing down here? Don't you know Agna Farhold is haunted by the spirits of the Arathi? So, are you foolish or just stupid? Not much is known about the fabled beings of Order. They abandoned this world long ago, leaving ruins such as this as a testament to their glory. I hope that by spreading tales of spirits and boogeymen, they could prevent the curious villagers from exploring too deeply. One can always hope. I'm skilled in alchemy, but it has never brought me riches or respect. The only way I will ever find glory in this life is as part of the Red Legion. She, like so many others in Gorehart, is prone to ignorance. She sees what she wants to see. I am her dutiful apprentice, and she is the wise mentor. Her whole life is a lie, she tells herself. They're very careful about whom they allow into their ranks, and they were resistant about my membership at first. At least until I told them about Nanny. Her discovery will fetch a high price in Rathir, and could even decide this misbegotten war. Still, that is no concern of mine. I simply want to be one of the Red. Oh, I see. The Twisted Gnome has found herself a champion. How delightful. Nanny always was a fool. So immersed in her work that she failed to see the deception before her very eyes. The Red Legion has her formula, because I gave it to them. At this very moment, they are moving crates of it eastward towards the city of Rathir, where they will fetch a high price. Poor Nanny. So trusting, so pathetic. Of course she can never learn of my ruse, can she? It is time.
Sometimes this is too hard to believe. But you can accept the strangest fact that you were wrong. Yes, but that and this endless vacuity is horrible. The Ancient Ones were here. They delivered themselves into the world. The time-worn cycle turns with ages. The seasons drift along the stream. They wait for the past. The future brings the forming storm. This is no place for a home, for anyone.